Hello and welcome back to another YouTube video. Today I'm going to be covering my solo queue top lane tier list for patch 13.7. If you enjoy the content, like and subscribe, and let's get into it. To begin with, Azir is a champ which I've wanted to add to the tier list. He is doing a lot better with his recent buffs in the top lane especially. They were mainly targeted towards the mid lane, but overall they have benefited top lane. More levels into scaling and armor, just in general, help him more against a lot of the top lane matchups. And in turn, I've put him in the beta. He's definitely, if you play the champion, probably an A or an S tier pick. A champ like Azir holding a 50% plus win rate in the top lane suggests he is pretty good, so definitely consider playing him. Yeah, he's high skill as always, and make sure you're W maxing, going your Nash's build, things like this, all very important on Azir. So Graves is another champ which I want to move up. Graves definitely benefiting from his crit buffs in the solo lanes this patch. He can opt into like a lifesteal heavy build, something like a Ravenous, shield bow kind of variation, or you can just go shield bow full crit, something like shield bow, i.e. Bloodthirster, and kind of go down that route. Overall, just doing a lot better than before, so gonna move him up a tier. Yasuo is another champ which benefited from his buffs last patch. He benefited in a bit more in the top lane where he can get more levels and a lot more XP, but in the mid lane it did also help him. So overall, just enabling more flex potential with the pick and just enabling him to be a bit stronger top laner overall helps the champ. So yeah, gonna move him up a tier. Alistar, I'm going to move back into the F tier. People are playing him again because of his buffs. He's still pretty bad. I'm not going to recommend this champ. He doesn't have the damage to really wave clear effectively. He loses most trades. Yeah, you can argue about the value of having a heavy amount of CC with an attack is powerful, but when you compare him to a lot of the other tanks in the current meta, he just doesn't really, like, it just doesn't line up with, that's not kind of the word I'm looking for. He doesn't really compare. He's just not as strong, and yeah, I'm going to leave him in the F tier for the moment. Maybe with the buffs next patch, he might see a bit of rise, but I don't think it's really where he's going to be strongest. If he had lower mana costs, then yeah, I definitely think he would be a lot better. Rammus, I'm going to move down to the C tier. Rammus received nerfs towards his W last patch, and I'm going to move him down for that. He's still going to be strong into those AD matchups, but when Malphite's as strong as he is, I'd just recommend picking Malphite. Wukong is actually going to move down a tier as well. Wukong received nerfs last patch to hit him in the jungle. I was kind of hoping they would only go with jungle nerfs towards Wukong, but these have affected top lane Wukong. It's just brought him down to more of an average level. Wukong was overperforming in the top lane, but yeah, this is kind of definitely brought him down. Lee Sin, I'm going to remove from the top lane tier list. The nerfs last patch combined with the fact that he doesn't really have that large of a sample size, it means he's probably just gonna. Means I'm just gonna remove him from the tier list. Malphite, gonna move up into the Z tier. He's gonna be my only Z tier pick for the moment, as I've changed tier lists and I've now added a Z tier. Yeah, he's kind of deserving of this spot. He just outperforms most top laners at the moment. There are things which do beat him, things like Silas, Rumble, Mordekaiser, all good answers to Malphite. Ornn also beats Malphite as another tank option, so does Maokai. Maokai I'm actually going to move up into the S tier. Maokai is kind of sleeper OP at the moment. It's both Sunfires and Abyssal are really good items on him. He's definitely gaining popularity as a top laner, just into the AP champs, yeah. Abyssal does work, and then AD champs, Sunfires, and then you're usually going like an even shard third item, so keep that in mind. Pantheon is going to move up into the S tier. He's getting a lot of popularity. I will still continue to recommend Pantheon mid over Pantheon top if you're looking to play Pantheon, because he has a better time into a lot of the mid lane matchups and a lot of the popular champs. He beats Katarina quite comfortably, who's the most popular mid laner on the current patch. He also beats Yasuo quite easily, so definitely play him in the mid if you're going to pick him, but it's still an S tier pick in the top lane, so still strong here. Mundo, since his buffs fairly recently, where they put a bit more power into his health regen early and took a bit out of it late, it definitely benefited him in the top lane and in general, so I'm going to move him up to the A tier. Kel also benefiting from Nashers and buffs towards her recently, so I'm going to move her up. Vladimir, going to move up into the B tier. Vladimir is a fairly volatile top laner. His performance can definitely vary across the patch, but as Cosmic Drive is definitely in a better spot at the moment, I'm going to put him up. Night Harvester, Cosmic Drive is usually where you're going to go with this champ. Rabadons is also a really good item on him, so yeah, going to move him up for that. Kennen, I'm also going to move up into the B tier. I'm still not a huge fan of this champion. I think he can be punished quite heavily, and he can struggle to find leads against a lot of the tankier champs. But since he keeps going buffed at the moment, and he benefited from things like Cosmic being buffed, and yeah, like flat damage on Q combined with ratio on Q, I'm gonna move him up into the B tier. There is variants of builds which do work quite nicely on him. I am a fan of the Night Harvester Cosmic Drive build, but you can go things like Protobelt and Shadow Flame, and they do work quite well. So those are my thoughts on the top lane at the moment. A lot of these champs are relatively middle of the pack. A tier obviously being above average, B tier being average kind of picks. A lot of champs do outperform the majority of the pack. So yeah, things like Malphite obviously going to get nerfed next patch. So playing where you get the free LP whilst you can. And things like Alistar really shouldn't be played in the top lane, but people are going to mess around, see if they can find builds that work. And maybe we'll end up seeing some sort of variation of Alistar top, which does function. Maybe like a face rush, a mana flow kind of build, where the mana issues are kind of made redundant. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.